Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Construct and Chat. It has been a while, but we are back in the full swing of things. Today's guest is none other than a filmmaker as well as a professional videographer, Mr. Doug T. I'm going to mess up your last name.
Yeah, you get it.
I didn't.
It's Tarnovian.
Tarnovian.
Yeah.
Doug Tarnovian. And welcome to Construct and Chat.
Thanks for having me. I'm very honored to be here.
Have you watched any of the episodes by chance?
I've watched all of them.
You watched all of them?
Yeah, I watched some of Rob, Daniel, and Angelo, and really liked all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's so interesting. So again, very flattered to be on here to
absolutely.
Construct and Chat.
If you haven't been already aware, and since you already watched the episodes, I don't have to explain it to you. Basically, the basis of the show is we construct and chat, hence the name. We construct a Lego set and we talk about you, your upbringings, your career path, what brought you onto that career path, and we just have a grand old time building stuff.
Oh,
You ready?
yeah.
So, we talked a lot off camera, but I haven't told you what we're building yet. So, what we are building, you seem a little nervous.
I am. I need a drum roll for this.
Give me a little drum roll. It is a Tom and Jerry
Oh, look at
Lego
that.
set.
Nice. I used to watch this all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah. Have you been a Tom and Jerry fan, growing up as a kid? It was one of the shows.
Yeah, I remember I had a bunch of those random DVDs that you just get at Walmart in the clearance bin.
Oh.
So I had a bunch of those. Streaming wasn't a thing yet, so I did it the old-fashioned way. You had to watch what you had and then get sick of it.
I remember watching it on, if you remember Boomerang.
Yeah,
Boomerang Cartoon Network. It was always on in the mornings.
Yeah, and I had Boomerang for a hot second. I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo when that was on.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Shall we get started?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Doug, tell me about your where your passion for film started. How did this come about?
So, I always watched movies as a kid. My uncle, who's he was just a very good family friend. He fostered my love for movies. He took me to the movie theater all the time when I was a kid, and so I just watched so many things. And then when I was in middle school, I remember watching. I was watching Pulp Fiction. Maybe a little too young, I'll admit, but
Yeah.
I just remember watching one scene and being yeah, this is what I want to do. So I got my friends together and we made this terrible short. Oh my God.
That's how it always starts.
It starts that way, and I'm I remember I saw one of my friends that helped me make that. And he's for a bunch of middle schoolers, it was not that bad. I'm no, it's terrible. It's I buried it. But then since that, I did very quick things with friends and here and there, and then it wasn't until college that I kind of locked in a little bit more. My goal is, the end goal is, I want best director at the Oscars. I'm manifesting. But it wasn't until college when I went to BSU, our alma mater, whatever, however you say it. And I made, here's the thing. I started college in 2020. So it was COVID, So I took film and video production 1 online. And obviously it's okay, not really much you can do. So I made my first short, which actually is on my shirt, called Memento Mori.
Okay.
This YouTube channel heavily inspired that film. But then it wasn't for another 2.5 years before I made anything else. Partly because I was just trying to keep my head down and just get good grades, and at the time I was kind of like going through like a weight loss journey. Like I used to be like a really big boy. So I was like, I made a huge lifestyle change. So I was really focused on that and just getting good grades instead of making art. But then, you know, second semester junior year, I made a film called Incubus, and then I made another film in the same semester, and everyone like was kind of like, oh, like, it's not really enough time, is there? I'm like, watch me, and yeah, that happened. And then I, you know, over that summer, from 23 into, yeah, the summer of 23, like I was working this terrible dishwashing job, like food prep job in the kitchen, and like they, you know, very nice people, yes, but they weren't even giving me like 20 hours a week.
Oh,
I was
wow.
part-time,
Yeah.
but like I didn't care. I was just like,
You just needed like to make money, or
no, it wasn't even that. It's just like, I just wanted to work to stay busy, but like what got me through that was writing what I considered to be my epic. It's the biggest project I ever did, called The Gull. It's like a neo-noir, and like that got me through that job. That got me through that summer. And then, you know, the fall semester rolled around, and I just started making stuff. I helped anyone I could. Like, I helped you a lot too. Right?
Yeah, there were projects where you came through and helped in a big, big way. I
Yeah,
think
like-
one of the projects was a noir project. We completely
Yeah.
bombed it, but then here's Doug to save the day, and it looked 10 times better. It was just, I feel like, what was it? There was a technique that you did in that auditorium.
Yeah, no, like so. Yeah, like I was just running around in the dark with the
Ye-
Ari lights.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, all right, what do you guys want? Okay, and it just.
It came out really well.
Yeah, no,
just
I was
wish
very
I
happy to
had-
help you guys. Like, I love doing like noir stuff like that. I'm actually about to help another student with his senior seminar project, and it's a noir, and he asked me to be the DP, director of photography, and I'm like, I'll do it. So that's coming up.
What's it like helping other students with their projects? Does that fuel you more and gives you like a little bit more ideas when it comes to like making your own projects? Something like you can nitpick off.
Yeah, you know, like, I don't think I could ever be a professor or a teacher, but like I would love to be someone's mentor. You know, I truly do love helping people out. And like, I help out as much as I can, obviously. Like I'll bring equipment, like I'll help keep the production going. It's, you know, I help out because I know what it's like to not have anyone to be there to help. Like that was why I didn't make anything for the longest time. From that first short film I made with my friends all the way up to college. That was like a huge time gap because there was just no one around interested enough to help. So I'm willing to put my all into someone else's project, and you know, I love doing it. Like it's fun. Like I get a lot of satisfaction out of it, and you know, if I can teach someone some stuff on the way, whether it's like the craft of directing or writing or like just shooting, just like you know, maybe if we move the camera over a little bit, if you shoot this person this way, like just like little things, and then they go like, oh my god, like I'm like wow, okay,
Yeah.
and like, you know, not that I know it all, right? Like I don't. Like I'm still learning, and I'm like even trying to go to grad school now. I applied to Emerson,
Oh, nice, nice.
and like I'm really hoping I can get in because I miss being a student. I've since graduated, and you know, like I do love helping people out and everything, and yeah, it's just it's satisfying, and if I can teach someone along the way, like that's like a bonus. But you know, I know what it's like to be proud of a project, and I hope that I can like help people be proud of the projects too. You know.
Did you have a mentor when you were coming up, or?
I consider my uncle to be my mentor, but like he's not a filmmaker. He's like just a cinephile. Like he'll watch those things.
Yeah.
But no, like I didn't have anyone like as hands-on as I would have liked. That's why I'm like I have that mentality of like I want to be a mentor myself because it's kind of weird a way to, it sounds weird, but like I want to be the mentor that I wanted for someone else, right? Like
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you know, it's a very, it can be a very lonely craft. It's very harsh, this industry.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, if I can help out and bestow some knowledge while I'm still learning, like, you know, why not? You know.
I think the importance of that is really, really significant because in this career field, there's not a lot of us out here.
Yeah.
So it's important to have that networking, and I think that has been brought up a couple times on different episodes where networking and just being and helping people any way we can brings like everybody together. That way, where we can like lean on each other for like projects and whatnot. So pick your brains and all that other stuff.
For sure. Like, you know, it's pretty, the industry's pretty barren out here. You know, it's rough.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got to take anything you have. Like, I'm trying to also like think of it like I'm trying to make my own opportunities and like make short films of my own and bring in the people I've met along the way. Like, and like you just you have to take any opportunity you can get. Like I'm friendly with, like to me networking is like a kind of transactional. It can be transactional, but I like to think of it as like just make friends with people first, right? Like, oh, you like this movie or this show or this game or something.
Yeah.
We bond over that, and then we go, oh, I have this project, right? You know, just like have a friendly conversation first, become friends, and then like start making stuff together, because filmmaking really can bring people together. Like I made some very, very close friends making my films in college, and like it's like friendships I'll never forget.
Are you still connected with everybody in?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Or
college, after college things kind of simmered down, but you know, new places, new faces, and you know, it's, you know, it sucks, but sometimes, you know, people just lose touch. I do keep in touch with a few of them, and like they've helped me, and like I'm trying to help them find more things to do in terms of production, and like you have to do a lot of things for free.
yeah,
A lot of volunteer work.
it's all about like freelancing.
Yeah,
At the end of it.
but like, yeah, you got to take any chance you get out here, and I forget what the initial question was because I'm so locked
No, we were
in.
just talking about networking and the importance of it.
Yeah, like you know,
what was I gonna say?
seriously, like if it's for free, like dude, like you got to pick your battles for sure. Like I know money is a very serious, and it's a very touchy subject, but and I get that people need to make decisions like that, but you do need to put yourself out there a little bit in this industry. Around here and stuff, so
Yeah. So where are you hoping that down the road that you see, like, what's the ultimate goal?
you know, I would love to be a director writer. I personally like love acting, so
Have you had like opportunities to act in different projects while you were during school and like outside, or just?
nothing crazy serious or professional. I act a lot in my own things just because I'm a control freak. You know, and like the things I write are so personal that I'm like I need to do this. But you know, some things here and there. Like I'm helping a student from Mass Art with her film as an actor, and that's turning out pretty good so far. but yeah, like the acting thing, I'm not like too like I'm doing that more for fun. Because like the industry is pretty. I hate to say it, it's pretty vain, and I have my hearing aids, and so like I just feel like I won't get any roles outside of being a hard of hearing character or a deaf character, and like I feel like I have a lot more than that. So I'll act in my own things just because A is one less person to find, quite frankly. Like, and like I do enjoy it so much, and like my characters don't like I never refer to the hearing aids. I was born with it. It's just it's just a thing. Like I'm not like I'm not sensitive about it at all. But the industry is vain. Like I could never be in like a Western because it's just like unless they put like an earpiece way inside. Like that's just not happening. It's rough, but it is what it is. But one philosophy I have about certainly my own projects is I always try to make the next thing better than the last. And like I've learned a lot. Like I hate to say this, especially on such a public thing, but like I learned a lot more about filmmaking doing it myself, and more about it since I've left, since I graduated from BSU. Like you really have to make it.
So it's like almost self-taught in a way.
At this point, like
a lot of people have done they self-taught teach themselves about certain things, and that's works always best for people.
Yeah, it's like some things you just can't learn in a classroom with a textbook, right?
Yeah. Especially how you were like brought up, it was like pretty much hard for you to like teach yourself the.
Yeah, and I mean, I everyone was like, oh, he has ADHD and stuff. I'm like, no, I don't. I just don't care enough about like this like mathematical whatever thing that I'm never going to use again, right? I don't think it's a coincidence that like I'm pretty bad at math, but regardless, like it was difficult because I made it difficult myself, right? But like the self-taught thing is just like it's through practice. Like no one gets like Babe Ruth wasn't always as good as he was, right? LeBron James it wasn't always as good as he is now, and that applies to filmmaking as well. Practice makes perfect. That's the saying goes, right? Like I mentioned, like The Gull, like that was my biggest project. I learned the most from that one, and like I look back at it, I'm like, wow, there's a lot wrong with this. Like in the edit and the way we shot it, like even my acting, like I acted in that. You learn.
Yeah.
And like I like to think I made better things since then, but it's all a process for sure.
Can you talk about like one of your projects that you hold dear to you, and then like also what inspired you to make that project?
So, like all of my projects are so personal to me. Like you could do a whole episode on each of them, right? Right? Like it's just that much, and I think that's kind of what separates my short films from a lot of others, is that like they're super personal, even if you may not realize it. For example, my senior seminar film, which was called Supernova, and now Supernova has a huge backstory. Like Supernova has a lore, like genuine,
Really?
like it's a very long story. But I'll just cut to when I decided to make it myself. Every scene in Supernova, like happened to me. Like there's a flashback. I don't want to spoil it. You should watch it. But like there's a flashback when she, the little girl, she goes to school and she like goes underneath the table because she's scared, and then the teacher walks over and is like, oh hey, hi, what are you doing? Like that happened to me. Like on my first day of preschool or whatever, I ran into the table because I was scared, and the teacher walked over and was like, hey, like, hi, hello, like, what's your name and whatever. And like I casted my mom to do that role.
Really?
Yeah, it was her on-screen debut.
How did she do? Like, how did she take it when you first told her? Like,
Oh, she wasn't thrilled. She's like, "You're making your problems everyone's problems." I'm like, okay. I just need to give her some like a half hour. She'll, and then little did I know, a half hour later, she comes upstairs. She's like, "Okay, like, what time are we going?" That shoot happened by like a miracle. It was truly a miracle. But yeah, like that happened to me, and I was so happy to portray that on screen. And like one thing that's so satisfying about that scene is that when I showed my friend, he's like, who had been through the whole process. He like read the scripts and the multiple drafts and everything. When I showed him, he's like, "That's exactly how I imagined it when I read it." I'm like, yes, that's nice. But like as I mentioned, like I try to keep my head down in college and everything to get the good grades. That's exactly what Supernova is. Like she, for the first few years of her college life, Stella doesn't have any friends, and she tries to fit into groups, but she just can't. And then she meets that one person, and then she, has a friend for life. That's exactly what happened to me. And, that happened through making The Gull, but then we made Supernova afterwards, on top of everything else. Because they were all filmmakers too, so I helped them out, and they helped me out. We're all in each other's films. It was like a little theater company, right? But
have you thought about making like your own like kind of like your own little studio per se, like your own little studio group and all that?
I have. It's funny, like I've been like slowly acquiring all this film equipment and stuff. So like recently I had a shoot, and I brought someone from a summer job that I had. I worked for NYFA, the New York Film Academy, over the summer, and I was helping teenagers make short films. Like that job was very satisfying. But I had someone from that job come over, and she's like, she saw all this equipment. She's like, "This is all yours?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You can start your own production company." I'm like, "I know." I know. Like it's, that's why I'm like not wealthy, because I spend it all on camera gear. But, I did think about like starting like a little network of people, like maybe a production company. Like, I don't know. Like that's, like videography is not, I'm not like it's ecstatic about, because I don't know, I'm very artsy, and like I like story is so important to me. But my friend and I are starting to possibly get into the videography thing, and we'll start investing in stuff and maybe start bringing in more people, because I have a vision where we're all videographers. We'll do events. We'll do things to bring in some money and put our names out there. But at the same time, like we all put a little money aside, and like whoever puts in the most money, and then we decide to do a project, like that person directs, and we do that person's script. I would love to do something like that, and then we all help them make that film. That's something I had in mind, and I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but it's starting to look like that is a possibility of happening.
Oh, okay. So a little stay tuned.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get out to LA. Like that's where the industry is.
That's a heavy market.
Yeah,
very heavy market.
So I'm just trying to like I said, I'm trying to create opportunities myself out here, and a little bit for other people too, and like try to make really good short films and just get our names out there somehow.
Is film festivals like?
Yeah. Like it's hard because I want original music on all my stuff, and like it's so difficult to find composers, and it's just like, oh my god, like, and it's hard to find them for free.
Yeah, everyone wants to do it for a price.
Yeah, and I get that. I genuinely do. So I always am upfront with anyone I talk to. I'm like, I can't pay you. And they're like, well, let me see what you're working on. And I'm like, oh, okay, here. And then, we'll talk a little more. And like, I have someone working on Supernova right now. And I'm like really excited because I think Supernova is my most personal film. They're all personal, but like, that's like the most autobiographical,
Yeah.
So it holds a really special place in my heart, and my mom's in it too.
You mentioned you working at your alma mater. What's that been like? Just being at the studio, certain days of the week, as a student, and now as a worker. Is there like a sense of difference that, and then you see like some students coming in, renting out equipment, running ideas by you? Is it weird to see that now? To see yourself in their shoes?
Yeah, like it's a little weird, but the way I see, like I'm still learning a lot with this job. Like I'm learning all the technical stuff, so I still feel like I'm like kind of at school, but without the homework, without the grades, and like obviously like more responsibility, but yeah, like I'm I thought I'd be around the campus a lot more, but I'm actually just like in the studio and just like, most of it's cleaning and just organizing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll see the students and I'm like, my boss even said like, we're here to serve the students. Like the students come first, which I get. Like it's a university, it should be that way. And at first it was a little like, yeah, I do miss being a student, but like I said, I'm learning so much from it that I feel like maybe it'd be like any other job. Like I feel like you've learned a lot working here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of like that, but yeah, like I said, I miss school so much that I did apply to Emerson, and hopefully that, like I'm really like, like I know once I get back, it'll be like, okay, I'm back now. Now I can complain about it again, and I have to do all these things and stuff. But like, I don't know. I think people are always in such a rush to stop learning after they finish either high school or college, and it's just like, why? Like I love learning, especially when it's about film. Like I mean, I even minored in film studies. And I didn't even need to. Like they were like, "You taking all these classes? Like just get the minor."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right." And like a part of the reason why I did it was so that I could continue to find the film studies classes, because they were buried in the catalog. So if you obviously if you minored in it, it brought those out. But yeah, like I love learning. I don't think you can ever stop learning. And if you have that philosophy, like, the sky's the limit, really. Like, there's no ceiling to what you can do. And, that's kind of how I see it.
So, apparently, I cannot be a host and build Legos, so Doug is going to take over my piece. I am so sorry that...
I've redeemed this for you, Alex.
All right, I appreciate. I don't know what happened. I think when we I think I inserted like a piece wrong, and then back in my mind, I'm like, nothing's gonna like go like crazy or anything like that. It's not gonna be messed up, and unfortunately, it was messed up. So you're probably gonna take over for now, and I'll start.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, yours came out a hell of a lot better if we can turn that around. There's little Jerry right here.
My man's.
So what would be your best advice for someone who's pursuing in a filmmaking career?
So in terms of helping other people, just, take the time. Like I know it can be rough, but when you make stuff with people, like it's truly a bond. And obviously, it can go the other way too. Like if you have a bad experience with someone making a short, like a film or any piece of art, you can like resent that person for the rest of your life. But luckily, I've been doing this for about 2 years. More like I would say like 90% of the time, 95% of the time, it's good. Like we all like get a little closer doing it. But like my biggest thing is for personal projects, like passion projects, like do it. Like, don't wait for the green light. Like no one's gonna give you the green light. Only you are. Like I know procrastination's a thing and everything.
Very much so.
And like life can get pretty busy, but that story you want to tell is not going to be told if you don't put your mind to it. That's something I try to tell everyone, and that's how you know some will make it, some won't. And like, not that I think some, I don't know, like it's hard to say, right? Like I want the best for everyone, and it's like sometimes you just gotta put a little extra work into it to do it, If you have a short film you want to tell, like just do it. Like don't let someone else hold you back. Don't let life hold you back. Like again, it's not going to be made unless you go out and make it. So don't wait for the green light. I used to say like don't ask for permission, but then I'm like, well, if you need to get into a location, like ask for permission.
You definitely need it.
Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
But so like I have a better way of saying it. It's like you have the ability to green light your project, not someone else. And be patient. Like these things aren't like they don't happen overnight. Like I've been telling a lot more of my friends, like these are the grinding years right now when we're young, and like we don't have a mortgage yet. At least most of us don't have mortgages. I know some people do. Like my best friend, he has a mortgage and he works very, very hard. So yeah, I don't know. Just if you have an idea, just go after it. Don't wait for anyone. That's what I've got to say about that.
Have you done a lot of traveling for, like, filming and all that? Oh boy.
Yes. I call my car. I have a Subaru and like my little engine that could. That's. Like, I don't mind driving, so it's never an issue for me. Some people are like, "Oh, you're too far." I'm like, "No, I am not." Like it's if you're within an hour from me, an hour and a half, 2 hours, like I will. Like I've went a lot farther for a lot less.
Really?
So, like I remember once, like I drove all the way to Bridgewater just to get a labs. I didn't even use them.
Oh.
like it's like and that was for me. And so I've driven a lot, and I like to think I'm a good driver. I enjoy driving. I know that's some people that's like, you like driving?
What was the furthest you've driven for a shoot?
Probably like an hour and a half or so.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, like nothing out of state yet. Hopefully, but like, yeah, definitely like in the city. Like I live in a beach town, so like it's just far from everything. So I'm just used to long drives anyways. And again, like that thing of like take any chance you have. Like it's not going to be handed to you. But yeah, like an hour and a half is probably the most I've ever done. I couldn't tell you what I did that particular shoot, but yeah, like I was going to Bridgewater every day for like 2 semesters. People thought I lived there. They thought I was a resident. I'm like, no, I live an hour away. They're like, oh, I thought you worked here. I thought you lived here. I'm like, no, neither of those things. I'm just here all the time. And I was there with my friends, and we were, obviously we were making stuff too. But yeah, like I always find that amusing. Like Jim Moore was like, you were unofficial intern for the studio. I'm like, yeah, nice, okay, thanks. But
You actually won an award while you were there, did you?
yeah, I won a few. So I can list all of them, but I'll say,
Go ahead.
well, it's not that many, but like, so for Incubus, it won Best Thriller at the Bridge Film Fest in 23. And then in the showcase, it won for Best Actress. And then my short film, Let Robbie Cook, won Best Long Form Short. And my friend Ronan won Best Actor as well. I done messed up.
See, it's not me. It wasn't me.
No, this was me. This is all on me. And then, fast forward, The Gull won Best Director, which I did not expect. It also won Best Screenplay. I was like that felt earned. I spent 5 months writing The Gull. Wow. Drafts after drafts, sending it to everyone I knew.
How did that feel, winning that award?
Like, it felt earned. It really did, because I was just like, I still think to this day, like, The Gull is the best thing I've written, like, in terms of scripts. I think, some people, I'm sure everyone else will say, like, oh, no, this film that I made after was better because I just got better at it with practice. But if you can find The Gull, which you can on YouTube, you can find it. It's unlisted, but it's in a couple playlists. And like if you put an unlisted video on a public playlist, like people can see it.
Yeah.
So it's out there. But if you watch it and then you watch it again, you'll pick up a lot of things I put in there, like on purpose. I cannot get this piece out. Okay, there we go. Good thing I had my nails today. But yeah, like The Gull won Best Director, or Best Directing and Screenplay. That was so nice. I was like, thank you, like genuinely. And then Supernova won for Best Drama at the 24 Bridge Film Fest. And like, that was nice as well. Like I said, Supernova has a soft spot for me. Like I cry every time. I make myself cry when I watch it. I'm like, because it's about her graduating college and moving on from college. And I'm like, I made that for senior sem, which is the class you need to take to graduate. So it's like, double whammy right there. But I'm like Quentin Tarantino. I'm like, I don't make the films for other people. I make it for me. And everyone else is invited. It's a little more than that. Like I like sharing it. I'm always appreciative of people watching my stuff, but like those are everything I won at Bridgewater, and hopefully it gets some more attention. All right, Alex, what about you? What's the end goal for you?
End goal for me? I never thought the guest would interview me.
Look at that.
The end goal for me is hopefully be a more advanced filmmaker. I'm having a great opportunity working here at Local Access, which I thought was kind of like not really a good stepping stone for me, but I decided to take that road, and here I am making a show about and interviewing people building Legos. If you told me this like a couple years ago that I'd be doing this right now, I probably would not believe you.
Yeah, no, I had that same kind of feeling of like, really? But yeah, no, like it seems really fun here. It's very like relaxed. I see you post on your story on Snap time to time, like you doing shoots and stuff. And I'm like, yes, let's go. Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you.
That was the goal all along. Because I feel this place came up to Career Fair in Bridgewater last year, and I had the opportunity to meet some of the staff here, and I didn't get a chance to come in until September, and it's been a fun ride ever since. And also have the opportunity to go there as an employee here on this year's Career Fair, which is a huge honor to talk to students that didn't get that much opportunities, because I know we've been students in the film department and we haven't really received opportunities like that.
Yeah.
Which hopefully that's hopefully changes.
Yeah, like I've always thought like it's not the career services fault that
Yeah,
there's
no,
no
no,
production
no,
jobs
no,
out
no,
here,
no.
you know.
No, no.
So like I was never like bitter about it, I guess you could say. But and I can see why people would be, but it's just like again, you saw this opportunity and you took it.
Yeah.
And I like you're doing great here. You
Yeah.
know, you're doing great stuff. And it's like it's a good stepping stone to something bigger, you know. I think this is a great opportunity for you. I'm like, you know, every time I see someone like they do something good, I'm always like, yes, good for you, good for you. Like if someone's film gets in a festival or something, or I see that they're working on like some set, I'm like, yes, like let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, good for you. And like I know some of the other coworkers, and I'm like, I'm very happy for you guys. You guys seem like a really good team as well. So next bag. But
See, able to fix it up for me.
next thing I know, I'm like, I missed something. No. I'm like, really, I'm so meticulous about things. Like, you know, for example, like that's why it takes me forever to edit stuff, and why I don't think I could edit for clients, because it's just
Yeah.
like I lament over every single decision I make. Like the, you know, I'm editing Siren right now. It took me forever to edit like one of the longer scenes, because you know it's a good problem to have, but it's still a problem. Like there were so many good takes in terms of performance. I was like, like the problem is I'm leaving 2 off the table and I can only show 1. That's
Yeah.
that, you know, and again, good problem to have, but it can be excruciating to edit things at times.
So here we are, the finished product. We have Tom and Jerry. So usually at the end of these long talks, I ask the guest, what should the viewers take from watching this episode?
I've kind of had a little hints here and there of my message, but like again, if you have an idea, you give yourself the green light. No one's going to give it for you. Just go and do it. Make as many friends as you can now. When, you know, just make friends, make connections. Don't be as transactional. And then, yeah, like, don't give up on the dream. You know, I know life can be hard, and it can be very unmotivating, but I think don't let it win every day. You know, like, keep the fire.
Keep the fire.
You know, keep the fire going, and that's kind of what I hope people take away from this, for sure.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of the episode.
And thank you for having me.
For your
It was fun.
time. And thank you for helping me with Tom here, giving me problems.
Yeah, let's just not show that side of him.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to continue to host the Construct and Chat, and thank you for taking the time to watch this episode. Really means a lot. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.